Welcome back to Oceania, where we are under the rule of our government, well, at least for some states. Sheepdog Smoky here. Let's jump in. Washington Governor Jay Inslee signs bill expanding gun confiscation laws. For anyone who's been watching, California, Oregon, Washington, Illinois to an extent, New York, Maryland, there are a lot of states jumping on the gun control bandwagon. Sadly, it's even coming up for votes in the Texas legislature, with them voting on a bill that would remove a lot of due process from our lives. I am still waiting on the final results of HB 545 in the Texas House, although I'm assuming, since I don't hear a lot of outcry, that I'm hoping it was defeated. But Washington is now saying that if you go under a mental evaluation, even if you are not committed, so the evaluation is you're going through a tough time because your fiance left you and that's affecting you. So we need to reinforce the positive in your life, but you're healthy. Sorry, you're banned from owning guns for 6 months. So because you go through a tough spot, maybe your parents die within a week of each other, and that gives you a hit, and you have to be mentally evaluated. You now can't own firearms. They're also saying that, it's just insane because it's a 72-hour evaluation. Okay, I know many people who are perfectly healthy, but they go through just hit after hit after hit, so their mental state is affected, and ultimately they're told we need to find out what's going on. So we need a 72-hour evaluation period. So they check in 3 days later. You're not unhealthy. The world is attacking. The world is falling down around you. So we need to address that. But that can be addressed with your friends, making sure you're not left alone for a while. That can be addressed with, maybe let's add some changes to your diet. Let's get you out and moving around. I've known people who, after hit after hit after hit, were simply told, you know what, maybe a change in job would be good for you. A friend of mine went through in a year 4 different breakups, and the relationships all looked great for the time they were together, and then all of a sudden she left. He decided he was going to quit his job, go back to college, move across the country, and now is living a wonderful life with a wonderful woman because he decided, I just need to not be where everything reminds me of this horrible year. That separation, coupled with staying in contact with all of us, coupled with staying in contact with his family, the change, the mental challenge of going back to college, the social challenge of finding that dream job, it all lifted all that pressure off of him. But under this law, if he is told you have to get a 72-hour mental evaluation, you have basically been stripped of your Second Amendment rights because the world crashed around you. My mother lost both of her parents in 11 months when she was 39, 38 for one, 39 for the other. So, still a very young woman loses both parents in the span of 11 months. You don't think that affects your mental state? You don't think that's going to be the world crashing around you? Now, Washington State says, well, I'm sorry, you can't own guns. And this is wrong. Very simply, it is. Because they're doing anything and everything to strip law abiding citizens of their ability to own a firearm. Because all of them know, and I've said this a million times and I'll say it a million more, all of them know, as long as the good, honest, law abiding people of the United States are able to own a firearm, tyrants cannot take control. They've seen it through the history studies of 1770s, King George telling American colonists to give up their guns. And then we get Lexington and Concord and the shot heard round the world. And then a bloody Revolutionary War until ultimately the British are sent packing. All of that was over what amounted to a 13-cent tax on stamps. I don't even believe it was 13 cents. I think that may have been adjusted for inflation, but still. That was all over a minimal tax on stamps. Now we're taxed over and over and over as much as possible. And instead of politicians realizing, if we did it differently, they'd be happier, they'd have their money, and we wouldn't have upset people. No, we just need to take away their guns. We don't care if they're upset. We just don't want them able to stand up to us when we try to take power. It's it's a stair step to subjugation. Is all it is. One need only look at Animal Farm with the all are equal, but some are more equal than others to see that's happening and has been for years in Congress. They vote themselves raise after raise after raise. They don't have to pay back their student loans. They don't have to obey traffic laws. They don't have to do this. They don't have to do that. Now, Green New Deal. Planes are evil and we need to get rid of them. Beef is evil. Get rid of it. Cars are evil. Get rid of it. I'm going to fly home, drive my SUV to the restaurant, and have a steak. We're soon going to be moving to either Brave New World, Fahrenheit 451, 1984, or some bastardization conflagration of all of them. 1984 is very simply, you will obey or we will get rid of you. Brave New World is, I'm sorry, you're not happy, take these drugs. While Fahrenheit 451 is, you're not happy? Oh, the news made you unhappy? We'll get rid of the news. And we're going to see it. I honestly think we're going to see some of all of it. We have politicians basically calling for the legalization of every drug on the planet as people die from fentanyl overdoses and other drug-related problems daily. We have people calling for control of the news. While they rail at Donald Trump for pointing out lies on CNN or MSNBC, they try to still, although it is still very quiet, they try to control Fox so that they can say, well, the news as a whole said this. Donald Trump saying no is an attack on the free press. And then we get to 1984, where it's, you are a political dissident. You are a danger to peaceful society. You vanish. We already have aspects of it where doctors are encouraged, and in some cases required, to report if you own firearms. I go in for a yearly checkup. They have to draw blood. I'm found to be healthy, as I am. Okay, but do you own firearms? Oh, that's bad, that's bad, that's bad. No, it's my right. I'm a law-abiding citizen, so shut your mouth. That will be expanded to Big Brother is Watching, where children are indoctrinated. Homeschooling, private schooling, illegal. You must go to the government schools where children will be told, okay, now tell us how your parents are doing. Are they watching the news every night? Are they unhappy? Do they not like the news? Oh, they don't like the news? Well, they're horrible people, so we'll move you to another home. Watch the movie Equilibrium. It's Christian Bale, Sean Bean. I forget the other people in it, but I know they were two of the main. They're part of the Grammaton Cleric. While the cinematography and all is very amazing and very well done, the Grammaton Cleric basically find anything and everything that would evoke emotion and destroy it. At one point, though, the entire movie takes a turn, and we basically see a 1984-esque world and what it does to people. I'm not going to say more because I don't want to spoil the movie if you've not seen it, but it very, very aptly tells of what this world would be if we had only Democrats in charge. Ultimately, it would be emotion is bad. We must suppress emotion. Marriage is bad. You're not allowed to get married. Having kids is bad. Well, we'll grow them in test tubes. It's just another step on the road to subjugation. And in any society or in any example of a subjugated society, notice those running the show, they get to do whatever the hell they want. Brave New World, not controlled by drugs. Listen to what you want. Read what you want. Do what you want. 1984, the people at the top, drinking, eating red meat, loving life as they subjugate everyone. Animal Farm, the pigs are in power, so they're more equal. They get to do what the other animals can't. And this is just another step on the way to that. They have to render you unable to defend yourself from tyranny so that they can then use when criminals continue to attack and when more and more people are killed. Well, we just need to expand our police force. Then it will be state of emergency, activate the National Guard. Then it will be obey or die. They're going to try it at some point. I hope it is not for centuries, but it will happen. Power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. Something that has been very well known throughout time immemorial. But I've talked long enough about this. Let me know what you think. Also, let me know what you think of the new format, where I'm no longer reading, I'm just kind of expounding on and talking about, because I don't want to be the guy that reads word for word an article and then talks for 2 minutes. This channel is more about starting a debate, a back and forth, to where all of us read or look at the same thing. I'm also having some ideas pop into my head, so I'm working on those. So make sure that you do let me know what you think, but keep it civil. We don't learn from argument, we learn from debate. Also, please remember to like and share this video, as well as to subscribe and activate notifications so that you are among the first to know of all new content as it is posted. Until next time, everyone have a wonderful day.